Weddings-ish, 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 with Jove.
Our wedding day was perfect, but 18 months ago, I was overwhelmed, behind, and buried in spreadsheets with 300 tasks ahead of me. Then I found Pearl Planner. Now Pearl Planner gets everything out of my head and off my list. It's like having a type A best friend who helps you plan your wedding, except she's powered by AI, so you won't wake her up when you message her at 3 a.m. I just answered a few questions and boom, vision board, personalized checklist, tailored to my style, my budget, and my venue. No more spreadsheets I forget to update, no more sticky notes stuck to my dog. Everything is in one place and it actually makes sense. This morning I said, Pearl, my mother-in-law added 7 more guests. Help. Pearl just took care of it so I could take care of myself. When I want to check things off, I do. When I don't, I just ask Pearl AI to help. Dress recs? Done. For me, my bridal party, my cousin who insists on statement sleeves? Handled. Need help wording your invitation? Pearl's got it. Need honeymoon recs? Already packed my sunscreen. And because Pearl's connected to David's bridal, every purchase earns me diamond points. So yeah, I'm literally planning my way to a free honeymoon. Planning doesn't feel like a second job anymore, it feels fun. Pearl Planner. Wedding planning powered by AI, fueled by love. Start planning now for free.
Well, hello, and thank you so much for tuning in to Weddings-ish with Jove, a podcast all about love, joy, and weddings-ish with a special guest each episode. This episode, I couldn't be more excited to be joined in studio by a talented actor, a recent bride, a mother, the icon from Gossip Girl, Jessica Szohr. How are you?
Hi. Oh my gosh, I'm like so happy to be doing this with you.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy you're here. I'm a fangirl. I have to just get it out of the closet right away.
Oh my gosh, I love that. And I'm a fan of yours. I love what you do and the conversations you have. And I'm
thank
like
you.
So happy to be here.
Thank you. So I want to know everything about you, but first, I think we're similar. You're an Aries, right?
I'm an Aries.
You're
I
March.
just turned 40.
I did too.
When's your birthday?
March 21st.
31st.
1985. Okay.
Yes,
So we are twinning a little bit. And I think we have a similar size family. I have 5 brothers. But you...
I'm the oldest of 5.
Oldest of 5. Okay.
You don't... Okay. Where do you fall?
I'm number 2.
Okay.
Yeah. But you're
5 brothers?
You're the old... I know. I wanted a sister. You have no idea. I wanted a sister so bad. It was like sports, video games, farting. I was like, I don't belong here.
Yeah.
This is not where I feel comfortable.
You're like, give me my girl.
Yeah,
oh my
like,
God.
Why don't we have like dolls and ponies and braiding and dresses? But that was not my lot in life.
And you grew up in California.
Southern California. Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about yourself?
Wisconsin, which very soon that accent will come out. You'll be like, oh boy.
I hear it a little bit. I never heard it in the show, but I hear it here. It's like
there's times like when I'm on set, like up for the Orville with Seth, and obviously like his ear with like, because of Family Guy, just all like all of his voices and all that, he has a real ear for it. So sometimes we'd be doing the Orville, I'd get to set and he'd be like, did you just get off the phone with your mom? I'm like, why? He goes, because your accent's really
it's thick.
out.
It's like coming up.
Yeah.
I love that.
Oh, okay. I'll not call my mom anymore.
And do you live there now, or where are you based?
So we are in Arizona now. We're kind of between LA and Arizona, but we'll raise our kids in Arizona. So it's a 15-minute flight. So when I have to be in LA, I
can be there.
Yeah.
And you've had quite the illustrious career. I'm not saying you're done, but it's been over 20 years since you started. TV, movies, music videos, like the list is pretty impressive. If I'm just going to name a few: My Wife and Kids, Uncle Nino, That's So Raven, Drake and Josh, What I Like About You, Joan of Arcadia, like so many, and the list goes on. But for me, I mean, Gossip Girl, it's just so iconic.
Do you know what's really crazy?
Tell me.
Is that when we were doing it, there wasn't Netflix, there wasn't streaming, there really wasn't even social media to the point of what it is today.
Sure.
So it's like keeps coming around and having like a new life.
Yeah.
Like I'm the oldest of 5, like we were just talking about. So I had sisters in high school while we were filming.
Wow.
Then I had another sister who's 17 years younger than me in high school, and it like came around again. And now it's coming around again because of Netflix.
Which
It's
is,
like,
it's going to Netflix?
It's on Netflix now. So I almost think it's like bigger than it was when we were out just because of all the platforms, which is really crazy to me because people really responded years ago when we filmed it. And that's such a good feeling as an artist when you're putting everything into it and people are responding. Whether I've had people come up on the streets and be like, you helped me get through cancer with my mom. You helped me get through a breakup, or it was just like something fluffy to watch. So they didn't have to think about this, or I don't know. So that's a good feeling as an actor that people can connect, and the fact that it keeps going. And I'm just like, Josh and Stephanie really were on to something.
I mean, really, because it was 5 seasons, the show. You were on for 4. Is that correct?
I think they just about 5 is what they did. Yeah. And I left a little bit before that.
You left a little bit earlier. Not that you're a diva, but
Barcelona.
Yeah, you leave on a high. I mean, it's just so iconic in the love story and your relationship, and you're such a fun character in that show because everyone else is kind of predictable, but you bring a little spice in a different way that like is just so needed. You know what I mean? Like you showed up like a whirlwind, and it was like instantly I was drawn to you. Not that I don't love the other characters, but like it's kind of spunky and fiery and really just like clear with her words and her wants. And like, I love that about that character.
You know what? I felt like there was like, she grounded the show in a way because she was relatable in the sense of like everyone else, like Chuck Bass driving a limo to school, or like that's his ride to school. And, you know, Serena and Blair having $2,000 handbags. Like most people can't, that's like not a world that like where
that's
I grew
the 1%, the 3%. Yeah. That's not the people watching the show were mostly not those people.
Right. So then Vanessa coming in who like works a normal job, doesn't quite get this whole like world. She kind of brought a level of like, oh, I can relate. But that she also like, she cracked me up too because she was the only girl that hooked up with all the guys.
You know what? I wasn't going to say anything, but yes.
I mean, I'll say it.
She worked her way through the cast and I was jealous.
And Chuck and Nate, I'm like, you don't even, and you know what's wild? Ed and I were dating. We dated for a couple years of the show.
In real life?
In real life.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he got married in August, I got married in August, and then he just had a baby. I'm just like so happy for him.
That is so wild. Your worlds kind of parallel. Yeah.
Yes, and his wife is just like probably one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, and she's also a mom. It's just like, it's so cute. I'm so happy for him. But we met obviously on the show. Yeah. And when we were dating, all of a sudden we were laying in bed and I was reading the script and he was, and this is like, we were reading them like in our hands, not on the computer or iPads.
Like old school days.
What page are you on? What page are you on? And he's like, 32. I'm like, wait till you get to 46 or whatever it was, because Vanessa and Chuck hooked up and I looked at him and I'm like, I don't like that they're hooking up.
No, it didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. They did you dirty.
I mean, it was fun for us.
I was going to say, so that chemistry was real.
Well, that was after we were dating. Oh. So we didn't know if they were like feeding into it because we were dating them. Yeah.
And were you originally meant to be on for that long, or did they kind of write you a bigger role, or how did that evolve? Or was it always you signed on to do 4 or 5 seasons?
I went to do like 3 to 4 episodes. And then on the 4th one, it was actually really cute. I remember everyone, Blake, Layton, Chase, Ed, Taylor, a lot of the producers, we all went to dinner, and it was kind of like, because I was going back to LA. Yeah. And I was like sad because I like got to form friendship with some of these people. And this was only like 3 or 4 episodes I did. And I remember Blake saying to me, she's like, but you don't even say bye. Vanessa didn't say bye. So you got to come back. And I'm like, yeah, but no one is like, no producers have called.
Yeah. Like you invite me back. I would like to come, but.
And she wasn't wrong. And then all of a sudden I thought about it later. I'm like, Blake wasn't wrong because you can't just vanish. No. So I'm like, even if it's for 1 more episode, and then it was 4 seasons.
Yeah.
So
that's so wild how the life kind of happens that way.
It's crazy.
And you yourself originally didn't want to be an actor or pursue acting. You had a different passion in mind for school or a different path in your life?
I grew up in Milwaukee and I did some modeling there and then Chicago. And when I started doing commercials and like being in front of the camera and being silly, there was something really fun. Yeah. About it that made me feel really great and exciting, but also like vulnerable, which is like weird to be like, I want to feel vulnerable. It's not that. It's just like the mix of the things.
The excitement of it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then there was an agent that had asked us to come out when I was like 15 to do pilot season, and being the oldest of a big family, and my dad working and all that. We couldn't afford to do it. We couldn't move the whole family. And I'm like, but I want to go. So I went my senior year. I graduated early and went. And it wasn't that I didn't want to act. I was just didn't think moving to LA, leaving your family, not getting a
was
degree
feasible.
was like,
Sure. Yeah.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Which it totally is.
Yeah.
But it just didn't feel normal to leave my small little town and all of that. And I ended up doing it. And I feel good about it, but it was definitely like scary. But I was going to go to Columbia and Chicago, be an interior designer.
Yeah.
And I thought live in Chicago, which was a big city, far enough from my family,
but still
to
close
like have
enough.
my own thing, but still I could be my mom at any moment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, of course. And that's kind of the Midwest values, I feel like, that are so beautiful. But so what was the deciding factor? Because you literally had like a perfect life set up. You got accepted to interior design school too, right? It wasn't like it was a fantasy. You were going to go, and then suddenly you were like, no, LA is calling and I have to give it a go.
I just felt, I went into my senior year the first day, and you go to the homeroom, and the teacher was like, here's to the first day of the rest of your life. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah. That's a lot.
Yeah. And I literally, the bell rang, and I went to my guidance counselor, and I said, I just want to take all my credits. I'm going to go in January for pilot season.
Yep.
And I went home from school that day, talked to my parents, and I said, how do you guys feel? And my mom says, if that's what's going to make you happy, like,
wow,
then do it, which is wild because I'm a mom now, and I'm like, if my daughter said that, I would freak, but I would also want to support her.
Of course.
That's what
I love that.
I went to LA in January. I wasn't even 18 yet. I turned 18 in March.
Okay.
And then,
and it started from there.
Yeah. And that was kind of my journey. There was a lot of no's, a lot of things I didn't get. I was fortunate enough to book a national commercial that helped me
put you on the map.
Couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, financially to like let you. Yeah. I mean, the industry's also changed because residuals are not a thing anymore, really.
Right.
But
and if they are, it's like not what it was.
No, not like a syndicated show on a network where like you can get checks every month for sure.
Well, and it was an IBM commercial. Like I was in it for 2 seconds, but I remember making like 6 figures at 18. I'm like, I couldn't even
imagine.
And it was funny because it would be like 1 week with the check would be like X amount of dollars. And then the next it would be like way more. And then it would be way less. And you didn't know. It was like Christmas in your mailbox. I'm like, what?
It's like when you were excited to get mail, because now I never want to open the mail. I feel like it's the IRS or it's something else. Like it's not good
like
usually.
Parking ticket. You're like, we're good.
Yeah. I love that. And your love story is so sweet to me. You met your husband at Coachella.
I did. It's so funny because my little girl's sleeping in here, and her middle name is Ella because of Coachella.
Stop. That's so cute.
Bowie Ella. But I'll show you at the end.
She's
sleeping in my office right now. So I went through a break. I was in a 5-year live-in relationship.
Oh, like serious?
Serious. And we broke up, and it was kind of like a hard breakup, real like, okay, we're done.
Was it like you decided, they decided, or both of you?
Yeah, it was me. It was my choice. But sometimes even when it's your choice, it's not something you always wanted to do or thought you were going to do or thought you could work through stuff. And it just was, it
hard.
needed to be done.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had gone to Coachella for years with my group of friends. And this year, this was a Sunday before Coachella. And that week, I'm like, I'm not going. I don't feel like pretending like I'm happy and jumping around. So I was like, no, I'm not doing it. Then my friend came over, and she's like, but what are we going to do? Like sit and drink wine and cry? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, that sounds not bad.
And then she's like, let's just go. You love live music. You love dancing. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. So we went, and I didn't meet Brad until the last day, Sunday. Okay. So this is a week.
But you also weren't on a manhunt, right? Like you were there to be with friends. You were there like to take your mind off of a 5-year breakup. Like that's fresh. Like you might notice hot guys, but you're not on the prowl.
No, and I don't even, my mind wasn't even at that.
Yeah.
This is really crazy. And I'm not just, when you hear this, it's like people are probably like, oh, okay. And I'm like, no, it's so wild.
Yeah.
So it's Sunday, and my friend's like, let's go to Stu's tent. And I'm like looking on the app or whatever. I'm like, Stu's tent? What DJ's playing? I've never even heard of
Why would we go
tent.
there? Yeah.
And they keep saying, I'm like, I'm not going to a like hot, sweaty tent right now. I'm going to go get a drink. I'll meet you guys later. I'll walk by myself. I'm good.
Yeah.
They're like, let's just go for a minute. We get to Stu's tent. It's one of the owners of Coachella.
Okay.
We walk in. It's air conditioned, open bar.
Oh, lovely.
Food and a bunch of dudes with missing teeth, which are
hockey players. I know. It's like such a downside of that profession.
But I also didn't know that. I walked in and I'm like, do these people not take care of their teeth?
You thought it was like a bunch of like,
like
rednecks or like, in the bougiest tent at Coachella. You're like, something's not adding up here.
What's going on? But their like bodies were nice. They had like outfits, and I like couldn't. And we kind of started talking, and then in the middle of the conversation, he's like, "I'll be right back. I got to FaceTime my daughter." And I'm like, "What?"
Okay, so you
nothing wrong with that.
No, but you just thought like probably married or like whatever.
Yeah. Yes, or has a whole
life.
Yeah.
Yes.
So he goes and does that. We're still all talking. Now we're sitting outside under a tree. And he comes back and I'm like, well, where's your daughter? And he's like, Arizona. I'm like, why Arizona? He's like, I live and work there. I'm like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a hockey player. I said, oh, well, who's your daughter with? He's like, my parents. And I said, do your parents live with you? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah. Right away,
I'm also
too.
not looking for shit.
Yeah. Did he have all his teeth at this point?
He's missing the bottom. He did, but it wasn't as aggressive as some of his friends.
Because I wouldn't be able to like look seriously past that right away. You know what I mean? Like we did a wedding of an NHL player and the nicest people, like all these Canadian hockey players, so nice, so attractive. But he lost his tooth like 3 days before the wedding. We had to go get him like a new tooth because it was like right here, like a flipper, because you can't not have a tooth for your wedding. Like but it's what happens sometimes, or a lot of times, I guess.
Yeah. And the funny thing to me is these guys are walking around. I'm like, people don't understand that. Like, you're this professional, well-to-do, hardworking,
career man,
very healthy. Like, people don't know that. Not that it matters what people think.
Sure.
But like when I'm looking at you and I'm like, this guy has like worked his ass off, worked harder than anyone I know.
Yeah.
But like first thing, I'm like, do you brush your teeth?
Right for the teeth. Right for the teeth. Listen, we all have vanity. Like if you go on a date and someone doesn't look like their picture or they're missing, like that's how it goes. But somehow you look, because they were lower teeth, you look past it. He tells you he has a kid at home with his parents in Arizona and you're sort of like, what is happening?
What? So, but this is actually funny in full circle. And then I'll get to like how the night went. But he goes, I play hockey. I said, oh, I met one hockey player. And he goes, who? And I said, Jarrett Soule. And he goes, that's one of my best friends. He goes, how did you meet him? And I said, he dated someone on a show I did in New York. He goes, Gossip Girl?
Stop.
I said, yeah, swear. And he's never seen the show, which is funny.
I'm like, it's not like a straight guy kind of show in my mind. I mean, maybe. I don't know your demo, but like feels more like girls and gays that love Gossip Girl.
Yeah. Although, like for straight guys, it's kind of nice because the girls are cute.
Oh, that's true. They're that. You know what?
Serena in a cute little outfit, or Blair in a cute little outfit.
That's true. They're always in these little skirts, doing little cute things. I guess that's not my lens, but yes, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Okay. So
nonetheless, Jarrett was dating. It was Katie Cassidy, but it just was a small world.
Yeah,
so that opened up like a conversation. He's like, oh, where do you live? Blah, blah, blah. So this is actually funny. I don't know if I've ever really said this. As we're sitting there, a friend comes up and they're like, your ex just walked in. I haven't talked to my ex since this last Sunday where I asked him to move out.
Into the tent?
Into Coachella. Because now we're not in the tent. We're sitting under this tree. Like,
okay.
And I like didn't really know what to do. I was kind of like, I'm actually sweating thinking about it now.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, I'll be back. I'll see you later. So we go, we kind of take a walk and like kind of like gather ourselves because I hadn't seen him or talked to him in a week. And we were in a 5-year relationship.
Yeah.
And that time he was calling during the week and I just wasn't taking it.
You weren't ready. I
wasn't. And there was a thing for me at that point in my life, like when you do have to move on and be done with something.
Yep.
You got to do it.
You have to do it. Yeah.
Like I had to rip the Band-Aid.
If you go back and flirt, it gets gray areas confusing. Yeah.
So anyways, we're like, walk out to the area. We're dancing in front of a stage. We're like, we got
You're
this.
vibing. Yeah.
And then like a couple hours later, I'm like, where was that cute hockey guy? All of a sudden he walks up like 2 minutes later. He's like, where'd you go?
Out of nowhere?
My ex walked in who I had moved out a week ago. Wasn't going to go
That's
there.
wild. But he literally showed up.
And I never saw him. How weird is that? I still have never seen him to this day. That's crazy.
That is literally, I mean, it's the universe saying like, go in this direction and not that direction.
And the funny thing is, like, we just got married in August, Brad and I, one of my exes was there. His wife stood up as one of my bridesmaids. Like, I'm friends with two of my other, I'm like, it's not like it's just,
It's a him thing. It's not an ex thing. Yeah. No, for sure. Yeah.
So then we go to see Dr. Dre, Eminem. Yeah. And Brad's like, we'll all go together. So it's him and his hockey buddies, me and a couple of my friends. We're dancing, and at the very end of the night, Brad hands me his phone. This is Sunday night, and Coachella.
Yep.
He hands me his phone, and he's like, "Here, put your number in." And my friend taps me, and they're like, "He's so and so is like right near." And again, I still didn't see him
at all.
At this point, I wanted to. So I look at Brad. This kind of worked in my favor without. I wasn't trying to play it cool.
Or yeah.
I said, "Yeah, no, we're good. We're good. We got lots of mutual friends." He goes, "Really?" Like, I wasn't giving Brad my number.
Yeah.
Who's now my husband.
I know, but why? Why were you playing?
Because someone just told me my ex was
so you just went like.
Yeah. I went, oh, God.
Yeah.
Because it also didn't feel, when you're in a long-term, for me, relationship, and even though it was a week and I knew I was done forever with him. It didn't feel right.
The optics are odd if you're now at Coachella, which is something sounds like you used to do together with your ex, with a brand new guy that's attractive and on the dance floor with you.
And great.
I get that. I get all that. Yeah. So you literally were like, we have mutuals. You can get it later.
But I think he was like, what? This girl? So Tuesday comes around and my friend calls and she's like, remember that guy? I'm like, yeah. She's like, he's asking for your number. I'm like, what do I have to lose? He lives in Arizona, has a kid, lives with his parents, plays a professional sport. That's not checking one of my boxes right now.
Yeah. And he followed up. He literally followed up. Like, he wasn't all talk.
No.
That's
and then
wild.
2 weeks later, our first date was Stagecoach.
So clearly music lovers, both of you, and you went to the country music festival. And then was there like instant chemistry? Did you make out? Or was it sort of slow?
We definitely made out and had fun at Stagecoach. But that was it for me, where I was like, I don't really want to see anyone else. But it was also so new and I was still fresh out of a breakup. And he lived in another state.
Yes. And that's confusing because you're like, I'm just out of a breakup. I can't find someone new this quick. It just doesn't logically make sense.
No.
But your heart knew.
And he was 8 months out of a divorce. So to me, I'm like, that's a whole lot of stuff too.
Yes. And a child from that divorce, presumably. Right. So like, it feels complex to be kind of for both of you. But then how did you navigate from that complexity into love and where we are today? I mean, you're married, you have 2 kids together. Like,
yeah. I think it was just like, I met my person. It's just weird. We were just kind of, I kept being like, yeah, we'll see. We would say to each other on the phone, or I'd have to go to Arizona a lot to see him because of the hockey schedule. So when I wasn't filming, I would go see him. When he asked me to meet Lexi, my stepdaughter, that like was a major thing for me. I'm like, listen, I'm not. And he goes, she's never met anyone else but her mom.
Wow.
And he's like, I said, I know, but doing this, like, this is like,
it's a big step.
This is a moment in someone's life that turns into like a lifetime kind of thing. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm like, but it also meant the world to me.
Of course.
But where was I going to go with that, Lexi?
I was saying, how did you sort of transition from complicated to making that decision?
Yeah. It was just our person, but we would say to each other on the phone, this is what I was going to say. I'd be like, I'm so irritated. And he's like, why? I'm like, because I don't want to like you like this. Like, I really don't. I'm like, this is so irritating.
Yes.
In the same breath, it was like, felt great. But I'm like, I am not trying to like do this long distance relationship and like,
Yeah, it's too much work. Right person, wrong time.
Yeah. And he would say the same thing. And then we were just like, we would still meet up.
Yeah.
We would go to New York and see plays. We would travel. And then when he asked me to meet Lexi, then I would make sure that when I would go to visit him, it'd be on the days that he
on
would
the
have
schedule
her,
with her.
So
Yeah.
see her.
Wow.
And then got to meet her mom, and Lauren's wonderful. And they co-parent great together. And then it was just kind of a mixed family situation. And yeah. And then this is what's funny about our now daughter Bowie, who's literally sleeping, couldn't be cuter right now. During the pandemic, when everything started shutting down.
Yep.
So now we're fully in a relationship, right?
So you moved to Arizona, or he moved to where you were, or you were long distance?
We were doing long distance because I was filming the Orville. He was playing for the Coyotes.
Yep.
So it was just long distance. Like I was always going to have to be in LA.
Yeah.
So
that is, you get used to the normal that is your life. And that was what it was.
Yeah. We made it a thing. Like we would go 2 weeks without seeing each other, even if I had to meet him on the road.
Yep.
Because there was they practice 6 days a week and have 3 games.
It's intense. He can't fly anywhere for sure. And if you're filming, you can't fly anywhere. Like you both have intense careers.
Yeah. And it's so crazy. And then what happened when we moved when I was 7 months pregnant, but the pandemic hit and hockey got called off. Basketball got called off. And I called him. I'm like, do you think Disney's going to call us off? He's like, yes, the world is shutting down, Jess. I'm like, I know, but like, is it?
Yeah. You're like, but I still have to go to work.
I know. I'm still going to work tomorrow.
It's Disney. They can do anything.
Yeah. I'm like running lines to go back to the Orville. And they called and they're like, you're off. But at that time, do you remember this? Like, no one knew.
No, we thought it was going to be like a week or two. Like we were naive for sure. In New York, it was like a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. Yeah, no one knew.
Right.
No one knew what was coming.
So I packed a bag for like a week of clothes and came to Arizona. And this was at the time where people are social distancing. You can't be outside. You know. So and now a couple weeks go by, maybe a month or two. And I remember, and no one was posting what they were doing.
No, because nobody wanted to be judged. Yeah, correct.
Or you didn't want to be judged.
Yeah. It was one or the other. If you weren't posting, it's because you were trying to be respectful or you were breaking the rules and you didn't want anybody to know.
Right.
Like I learned all these people in LA would go, like restaurants were closed on the front, but people would go in the back door and like I was like, well, no wonder COVID like just kept on going around. Like everyone's just bending and breaking the rules or like buying fake vaccination cards. I was like, this is getting wild. Okay, so anyways, out of hand. So you move in together basically, accidentally.
But I came to just come for like, I packed a bag for a week because we didn't know when we would go back to work or hockey and when the world, it's not even about acting or hockey. It was like, we didn't know what was going on with the world.
Yeah.
And so at one point, couple months in, we were like, we have to get out of we have to do something. So we were like, we'll go camping. We had like.
Great. It's outdoors. It's nature. You have free time.
And nothing was open. It wasn't like a campground.
Yeah.
We found one place. And again, I don't know if this was breaking the rules or not at this point, that would rent vans.
Okay.
They were all cleaned off. Like it was
sanitized.
Very about.
Yeah.
And we're like, that great. Clean it. We'll leave the keys on the wheel.
We'll show up. Yeah.
And we get the vans and we go camping. There's no toilets.
Yep.
I mean, it's literally in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You can't. And the license plates were Bowie, Joplin, like rock and roll names.
Yep.
And on the way back, I was like, this is like too much information, but
that's why we're here. We want all the information.
Yeah. I was like, I'm like really late for that time of the month. Like, it's weird. Come to find out, I was pregnant.
Yes.
And so we named her Bowie.
From literally the van. Oh,
yeah,
my gosh.
David Bowie.
Yes.
They were all rockers. And we like David Bowie, but now I have like art of David Bowie, every t-shirt of David Bowie. Like I'm a big fan, but now I'm like a huge fan.
I love this.
And then I love her Coachella.
That's literally, but also camping and no work and what else are you doing? You know what I mean? Like you're in love. So like it makes sense that you would get pregnant. Like if that's what you're doing out there, you can only
there was stress because no one knew what to do with the world, but also
no stress because we were just in this weird limbo for sure.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So you had Bowie before you officially lived together. And that must have like cemented
so we
the
bought
relationship.
Our first home together.
Okay. Yep. Beautiful. And that was in Arizona.
Yep. First home together when I was about 7 months pregnant. We hired Lexi's mom to be our realtor.
Okay.
And how funny
why not?
We get there and you know how there's two realtors, like the buyer and seller.
Yeah.
Lauren shows up with Lexi. Me and Brad are there. I'm like 7 months pregnant, like popping.
Yeah.
And she's like, and Lexi runs up and hugs us. And she's like, wait, how do you know each other? I'm like, oh, this is his ex-wife. She's our realtor. This is their daughter. And I'm pregnant with his daughter here. He's my baby.
It's like literally a TV show I would love to watch.
I said, we're as modern family as you can get.
But the beauty is that there's love and joy there. And it's not that you can all be together and you didn't take him and his daughter away. You know what I mean? Like you blended the family in such a gorgeous way and literally kept the work in the family, which is kind of amazing.
But it was also too like, you know, that was like Lauren was very open and great with me coming in, and we were all very careful and obviously because of how much we all love Lexi, but it was all out of like love. Which
of course, you were intentional humans and parents, which is beautiful. But I love this because I find more and more couples are living life on their own terms, and a lot of people feel like you used to have to move in together, get married, have a baby, buy a house. Like that's what it was. But that's not love. That's not life. And so I love that your journey was literally like Coachella to a hockey player that you didn't really want to meet, to falling in love by trying not to fall in love, and then becoming friendly with your lover's ex-wife, falling in love with their child, and then having your own child and using her as your real, like it's all love and it's all amazing. And I'm like obsessed with it. Crazy. It's the right way to go.
My ex-boyfriend's wife as my bridesmaid.
I mean, like, hello. So like no bad blood. You're as Midwestern as it gets. And I love it. So then tell me about the proposal. You've now lived together. You bought a house together. You have a child together. Clearly you have a serious life together. Yeah. Did you talk about marriage early on, or were you sort of both like been there, done that?
We wanted to get married. Okay. Yeah, we knew we were going to do that at one point, and we also wanted kids at one point. We just didn't know it was going to be what it was, but it was also the best thing that's ever happened. To me.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So we were 7 months pregnant. We buy this house. Lauren sells it to us. We furnish it. We're sitting in the living room one day. At this point, I've met my doctor for months. We're going to deliver my baby. And I hear him on the phone outside, and he comes in. I'm like, what was that? He's like, it was the GM of the Predators. I'm like, in Nashville? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, what's up? He's like, well, would you want to go to Nashville? I'm like, when?
Like move there or just like a trip?
No, because he was going to go play for that team.
Oh, okay.
Moved to Nashville.
What?
I had Bowie in Nashville.
After you bought and furnished a house.
Yep. So we rented that to one of his teammates on the Coyotes.
Sure.
Moved to Nashville. Had her. When she was 3 months, his mom and I went back to our LA home. Okay. I was doing the Orville. Bowie was coming to set with me every day. On the weekends, we would go fly to Nashville to see him. It was wild.
That's wild.
Our wedding day was perfect, but 18 months ago, I was overwhelmed, behind, and buried in spreadsheets with 300 tasks ahead of me. Then I found Pearl Planner. Now Pearl Planner gets everything out of my head and off my list. It's like having a type A best friend who helps you plan your wedding, except she's powered by AI, so you won't wake her up when you message her at 3 a.m. I just answered a few questions and boom, vision board, personalized checklist, tailored to my style, my budget, and my venue. No more spreadsheets I forget to update, no more sticky notes stuck to my dog. Everything is in one place and it actually makes sense. This morning I said, Pearl, my mother-in-law added 7 more guests. Help. Pearl just took care of it so I could take care of myself. When I want to check things off, I do. When I don't, I just ask Pearl AI to help. Dress recs? Done. For me, my bridal party, my cousin who insists on statement sleeves? Handled. Need help wording your invitation? Pearl's got it. Need honeymoon recs? Already packed my sunscreen. And because Pearl's connected to David's Bridal, every purchase earns me diamond points. So yeah, I'm literally planning my way to a free honeymoon. Planning doesn't feel like a second job anymore, it feels fun. Pearl Planner. Wedding planning powered by AI, fueled by love. Start planning now for free.
Yeah. And then we lived in our home in Hermosa, and I would film there. And then when his season was done, he met us, and it was just this grind of like, he's doing his dream, I'm doing mine. We have these beautiful kids,
and they're watching you live your dreams, which is beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Equally, both of you, not one of you. You know, I love that.
Yeah, it was great. It was a grind. Like, people like, how was postpartum? I'm like, I don't really know. I was
didn't
like
have time.
An alien on a spaceship, breastfeeding in my trailer in between takes. I was like, she's got to be looking up and ask, why does she have ridges?
Why does
like,
mommy look like that? Yeah, like, what's wrong with mommy?
Get some Botox, bitch. Like, ridges on my nose.
They're very deep.
But then we come back here eventually. Now I got to think about it. Anyways, and then our house flooded here. Something happened with the pipe. So we go into this. He has like this rental condo he's very into investing in real estate. Which is very great.
Yeah.
And he's
long-term wealth. Let's do it.
Yeah. So we go and stay at one of his properties, or one of our properties. And out of nowhere, I have like zit cream on. It's
an everyday day for you. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, zit cream on. Bowie's asleep. I just went in and prayed and laid with Lexi and did our little routine. And then Brad goes in and has his like moment to say goodnight. And I walk in and he's like, wait, I got to talk to you. And the way he said it was really strange, but it wasn't like I felt like something happened.
Something was wrong. Yeah.
I literally was like, what? And we've never like messed up that routine. Like, I go in and say goodnight, read and do whatever, you know, like.
Yeah. You have your night times. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he does. So when he said that, normally he would just wait and tell me in a little bit. So
yeah, like, once everyone's down and you have adult time.
So he walks in and I'm sitting on the bed and I'm like, what is going on? And I'm like, you're freaking me out a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, did something happen? Is everything okay with Lexi? Like, is Lauren okay? Like, what's up? And he gets on his knee. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me?
That's confusing.
And I blacked out. I don't remember. It was a lot of beautiful, nice things, but I literally don't remember.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah. But the thing was, he had asked Lexi, we went on like a walk, all of us, and I was apparently up with Bowie, probably chasing. She's always running.
Yeah.
Chasing her. I guess he asked Lexi, what do you think if I asked Jessie to marry me? And she said, yeah. And I guess she was asking questions in front of me. Like, what if you ever married Daddy? But she was at an age where it didn't feel.
It wasn't like obvious to you that she was trying to give it away, but she was very curious.
At all. Like, now when you hear that, I was so shocked. You guys are probably like, really, just swear?
Yeah.
She kind of just said that. But she'd asked questions like that before.
Yeah, they're kids. They ask a million questions about anything, for sure.
Right. Yeah. And he said, I got the ring a couple months ago. I'm a couple months ago. What?
Just burning a hole in his pocket?
Yeah. And he's like, I was planning to do it when we went on our next like trip. But he's like, I asked Lexi and then I felt like she was going to give it away. So I just on a whim decided to do it. I said, no shit.
It felt like that. Yeah. A zit cream on your face. But it
also couldn't have been more like authentic and organic and caught me off guard.
Yeah.
To be honest. Like, if we were on a trip and he was acting funny, I might be like, what's he got going?
Yeah, and it would have been a whole other thing.
Yeah, couldn't have been more shocking.
And I love that you blacked out. You just like didn't,
he was saying a lot. And I just was like, I remember the one thing at the very end, though. He said something. It wasn't like, I want you to be my wife. He's like, I really want you to be with me for the rest of my life. I want it to be us. Like, it was just, that was like, and I'm like,
yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I'm like, oh, this is wild.
I love that. Yeah. And then did you start planning your wedding right away or did you take a little time?
We were engaged for like 2 years.
Oh,
it was
okay.
a minute. And then finally we were like, should we just do it? Yeah. I did say, I'm like, we're going to do it. Let's just do it before I'm 40.
Yeah. Yeah. I do not want to be a 40-year-old bride.
Yeah, not that that's wrong.
Thank you, because that's me in June. I will be a 40-year-old bride, so be nice.
Oh my God. Are you getting married in June?
I am in June. Yeah.
Okay, wait. We got to flip the switch here.
I know. It's not about me, this podcast. It's about you. But if we have some time, we could chat about it.
Okay, wait. Do you know where you're getting married?
Yeah, New York City. No, here in the city.
Oh
yeah.
God, I know.
Do
you have what you're wearing? You must.
Yes, I have a couple of outfits.
Well, because it's April. It's in a month and a half.
I know. It's like around the corner. I've done a few fittings. We're very excited.
Wait, you proposed? Or who proposed?
We actually had 2 proposals. So he originally proposed to me because he was annoyed that I was taking so long to propose to him. But I was taking so long because he told me he wanted to be engaged in Versailles, like in France. And that's like a whole to do that.
Sure.
And like,
but I also like that. That's like,
yes, he knew what he wanted and he said it on like the third date. And I was like, okay. And then he said it again and again and again. And I was like, I hear you. But we live together. We have our dogs together. Our life is together. So I just thought like it'll happen when it happens.
right.
He said, no. And he proposed, totally surprised me 2 Decembers ago in Palm Springs when our families met for the very first time. So I never expected it because my family's a little wacky. His is lovely. And it could have gone a number of ways. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And it was great.
he proposed in Palm Springs. And then that March, I counter proposed at the Metropolitan Opera House because he's an opera singer. And so,
Oh my God.
yeah, we did, 2 proposals. Why have one when you can have 2?
No, I got it. I love that.
But this is not about me. This is about you.
Wait, how long have you been together though?
5 years. Yeah, coming up
Okay.
on 5 years. So we'll be married just very shy of our 5-year anniversary.
I am so happy for you.
Thank you.
That's
And we
awesome.
also like blossomed during COVID, like similar to
Right.
you. He came out
Either
to
you
Fire
worked
Island,
through COVID,
or you didn't.
either you worked, had a baby, or you got divorced.
Yeah, one or the other. Okay, so your wedding. So you were engaged for like 2 years. So you weren't that girl that had always been thinking about her wedding. Okay,
No.
great.
But you know what I do think? I don't know if you've ever had Jenna Ushkowitz on. She was on the show Glee.
No, but I want to if you think I should.
You should have her on. She's
Okay.
a wonderful, amazing person. But she's an old friend of mine, and we used to always say this is before we were both married. Like we go to events. We go to, like the Met. We've been to the Met Gala.
Yep.
We go into premieres. We're dressed up and get hair and makeup
All
done
the
a lot.
time. Yeah, that's your life.
And it's not that takes away on your wedding day. Well, we didn't know at the time because we
Yeah.
weren't married. She's like that for a lot of people for their wedding day. That's their one day that
Yes.
they put on this gown and they do this, which
Correct.
is beautiful and great.
Yep.
But it was also like, because I'm like, I talked to her I'm like, I don't have this thing where I'm like, can picture my wedding dress or picture, I don't know.
You didn't need that. You weren't that girl.
Right. I guess that's it. But and she said, maybe it's because we get dressed up all the time. So
I think that's
it's
part
like
of
that.
it. Like if you go to the Met Gala, like that is the most dressed up occasion of your life, probably at that time.
Right.
But I love that because then you weren't pressuring him either, which I'm sure was nice for both of you. Because sometimes when someone's really pushy about the wedding, it's a little annoying. Okay, so you waited about 2 years, and then how did you decide Arizona?
We have a place up in the mountains in Flagstaff, and we were kind of like, it's this magical place where we have so much fun with our kids.
Yeah.
We thought about Palm Springs because we
Okay.
met at Coachella. We
Yeah.
thought about Italy because it was one of our favorite romantic trips we did.
It's gorgeous.
I'm also the oldest of 18 grandkids. I'm like, I don't know if my family can get all the way over
18?
there, that many people.
That's
yeah.
a lot. That's a destination. That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Right. And we're so close to my family. So like everyone in my family's
Gonna come.
invited.
Yes. Got it.
But we also wanted a small wedding.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how to do that. 70 people are coming from Jove.
Yeah.
on my
Like
side.
minimum. Yeah. Got
yeah.
it.
And then we have like our best friends or, people we worked with or played with.
Yep.
But we wanted to keep it under 150 so that it was like still intimate.
Yep.
Which is, yeah. Also, JD Reese, I just have to give her a shout out. She was our wedding planner who was just epic.
I love that.
She was so wonderful. I don't even have words.
So you
Like,
say
she was-
you stand for wedding planners. You're like, you must have one.
Well, yeah. I mean, I only have one experience.
Yeah,
and
but
it was wonderful.
great.
I at one point I'm like, you have done nothing that's irritated me or bothered me. And she wasn't also like hovering and like doing it to like be
Yeah.
on my good side. She was just honest.
Yep.
Has really good taste.
Yep.
Really knew that our love story and knew we loved each other. And she was just epic. Like
At putting
she's
that
great.
together. I love that.
But she knew Flagstaff really well. She
Okay.
has her family has a place in this community. So that was also really nice. She really knew all that. Not she could do it anywhere, but
Sure.
that was
Like
was
her
also just
specialty, which is nice to lean
it was
into
just a
that.
plus. Yeah. But we decided there, and so it ended up really being a destination wedding for everyone but about 5 people.
Yeah, because you were the only ones there. Everyone else still had to fly. But
Everyone
domestic.
came from New York, LA, or Canada, or
Yeah.
Wisconsin. Really.
Yeah. And then you didn't have a 3-day weekend. You had like a 4-day weekend?
It was like a 4-day weekend. Yeah.
Why? I love this. You were like, I'm not a wedding girl, but I'm going to have a 4-day wedding weekend.
Well, I wanted to do something because we're at an age where people have kids, but I didn't want kids on the wedding night because I felt like that's like a different thing.
Different vibe, but they were invited to the weekend.
Yeah, there was different, like we did a pool day for the kids. We did an event the night before with like games and stuff. So we wanted that. Then we also wanted, if people were going to come far, like coming from New York, that's like a, a time change. And then you got to also get planes.
Might be a layover.
Cars, renting homes. I'm like, we got to make it like a vacation for them.
Yeah, I
So
love
it ended up being great. And Galia Lahav did my dress, which was
stunning. Well, you wore a couple of her pieces, right?
Yeah.
Not just one. How many dresses total over the 4 days of events?
It was 3.
3. Okay.
Yeah. 3.
And the wedding day, you had a beautiful veil. I want to know more about this veil.
Sharon, who designed it, and with the dress, Sharon, I love you so much. He's just epic. The veil was so like, it's funny because it was so dramatic, but there was still something so like light and airy about it.
Yep.
And my grandpa, he used to always say, take time to smell the roses. So they wrote that, and it was just beautiful. You'll have to pop up a picture on here so people can see it.
It was there's a photo of you, and you can really see it so beautiful, the drama of the dress, but you see the quote, take time to smell the roses. And it's powerful. And to know that, he was there with you in that way is like very special.
Yeah. Oh my God, I have goosebumps right now.
I love that. I mean, but that's the joy of a wedding, is like, it's those details that matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a party for like any other party. It's like a party for your love and the people who have got you to that place and help you through that place. And I love that.
There was a thing too when we were going through, like, because I remember a friend called and was like, just remember, if there's people you don't invite, that might be like ends of friendships. I'm like, are we doing that? We're like too old to be doing that.
Yeah,
but at
like,
the same
are we
time,
still
like,
here?
listen, if we are thinking of someone and we don't see them we can't imagine them in pictures with our kids in 15 years from now.
Yep.
Do they need to be there that day? I don't know. It's not that they're not a good friend. It's not this, but it is hard.
It is hard. We just sent ours out, our invites out, and it's like nerve-wracking because people text and it's like, I love you, but we're friends, but you have to draw a line in the sand. Like, we also have 150 guests, so like, could we have had 200, 250? Sure.
Right.
But also, like, is that the experience we want? Is that the money that we want to spend? Is that it's hard. How did you get through that? Because that is a gritty part of it.
We just kind of had to be like, this is just how we're doing it.
Yeah.
And nothing, there was a few, which I couldn't believe, people that reached out and they said, I'm really not invited. I'm like,
they literally text you?
Yes. And I said, unfortunately, if you're going to just be straight up, I'll be straight up. One, at the event, we really couldn't have more than 150.
Yeah, which is nice to be able to say, that's not my fault. It's the venue restriction.
Right. And I'm also one of 18 grandkids, and I'm old for getting married in my family.
Sure.
Not in life.
So they all have partners. So that's your number. Your 75 is already full.
Yeah. Like a lot of my cousins are married that are younger than me.
Yeah.
So right off the bat, now we're at 18 times 2 plus all my aunts and uncles.
Yeah. 36, 50, 60. Yeah.
70 people in my family. And then I had to invite some of my best friends that I met in New York.
Of course.
The people that got close with Brad through our relationship.
Yeah.
And
it's hard, but you just have to do it. But do you have a relationship with the person that texts you? Like, do you still hang out or see them or no?
A little bit. It's definitely shifted, but that's also, to me, says something. Like, if you're okay, then that's here.
That's life.
No hard feelings. Love you. I'm here for you. But
of course. But that
sounds so bad.
No, because I'm literally in it right now, and it's such a funny thing. But also, there are phases of life, and like when I was single, like people are texting from my childhood that I haven't talked to in over 15, maybe 20 years.
Right.
And yes, the wedding's going to be good. So I get that you want to come.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I might be texting you after this. Like, I want to come.
Listen, if you're in New York City, there might be an open invite, but I might need a couple of hockey players to come.
Okay.
To the after party. Some of the Gossip Girl. Oh, that would be, the after party is going to be very fun. But it's
Wait,
hard.
Chase, who plays Nate, came to my wedding.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing.
Well, because we always stayed really good friends.
Were you the closest from everyone on the cast?
I think, yeah, we're still I'm still close with some of them.
Sure.
Like Chase and we ended up being in the same group of friends. Like he stood up in 2 of the weddings of 2 of the guys I introduced him to from my life.
Got it.
So we're all going on a trip this summer together.
I love it.
Yeah. But my point was there was like people in town. I went in town to like fix something on my dress, and it's so wild because these people didn't know I could hear them. They're like, we heard Nate Archibald is in Flagstaff. Stop. And I'm like, because you know what? People freak on him. And I get it.
Yeah.
Because he's beautiful.
He is.
But the thing is, I'm like, if people actually knew how fucking amazing he is, not that people don't think that.
Sure.
But I think people are like, oh, he's so beautiful. And
it's superficial first. Yeah.
All those things are right. But
yeah.
He's like such a loyal, honest, funny, down-to-earth guy. I'm like, if people actually knew how cool he was, it would be dangerous.
He'd have too many friends. And you have a lot of friends because your wedding party was not small or medium. It was quite large. You had like 12 or more?
So I have 3 sisters.
Okay.
And when I was trying to figure out what I was going to do about my maid of honor, one of my sisters says, don't even play. Ask a friend, because this will not.
It will not end well.
It's not going to be okay.
It's not going to end well. You can't pick one of your 3 sisters, for sure.
Right,
not.
And you can't have 3.
No, that's too much. Too many speeches.
I wouldn't have had a wedding.
Too many cooks in the kitchen. Yeah.
So I said, could you send me a list of a few people that you guys feel, good about? And
that's very diplomatic of you, that they would agree is someone like equal to them. Or
just
important
someone
in
that
your
they
life.
Think would fit the role.
Sure.
Someone that meant a lot to me,
sure.
that they feel, is someone that they care about.
Yeah.
And they all were agreed on Nina. There was a couple, like another person that I grew up with.
Yep.
But they all, when I saw that they all connected on that,
they were
I
unanimous.
was like, and that was
that was it for you.
She has been with me from almost 19 on.
Wow.
All of my breakups, all of my wonderful falling in loves, me with her. So it was that she was really there. I lived with her for a little bit through that breakup right before I met Brad. I wanted to just
of
not
course.
be in the space.
Yes, she's your ride or die.
And I was living with Nina, and I'll tell you what, that girl needs to do like an app or a class on maid of honors, because she delivered. The creativity, the love, the gifts, not just from laughing in the videos, but like the gift bag she had for people when we got
she went above and beyond.
The schedule, and just with like such ease and such, I was like, you really should like open a company.
Write a book about
but
this.
The problem is like it really came to her heart.
Yeah.
So,
was that the first time she was a maid of honor for anyone?
Yeah.
And she was just naturally that great and organized?
She's a really good planner.
Yeah.
But she also is very, very creative and thoughtful.
Yeah.
So it was good. That was the other thing. I'm like, this girl will be, and she's fun.
Yeah. And she enjoys it. If she doesn't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? Right. So that's like, okay, but did you love having that large of a wedding party? Like you got ready with everyone? Like was it 12 people or did I misread that?
It was 12.
12.
It would have been 13.
12 or 13. Oh my God.
Then I had 2 of my gays, and I said, Brad, they're coming on your side because I can't.
Oh, because you can't have
12.
You wanted equal.
And he's friends with them.
Yeah, of course.
But I was like,
was it like hockey player, gay?
Yeah,
I'm dead. I love it. I love it. I'm here for it. Yeah. Like that's the beauty of friendship and life and like merging, when 2 become 1.
Oh, they're really good friends with both of us.
Yeah.
But they're like my brothers for years.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's going to be super off.
Yeah.
Like you're going to have 8 people and I'm going to have 6, whatever it was.
Yeah,
so I'm like, why don't you take on Jerry? Because you also become really close with them.
Yeah.
And it worked out great.
I love that.
And they fucking came fierce with like YSL boots and
all the looks.
I'm like, Vogue is not going to like do an article on me. They're going to do an article.
They're going to feature your gay best friends. Isn't there a rule you don't upstage the bride at her wedding? Like,
They
isn't
look
that...
great. And I was like, do you want to walk me down, actually?
Yeah. And what about the two kids? How did you involve them in the wedding?
They were flower girls. And then
together.
both my nieces and my nephew and one of our other best friends, little girl who's like a niece to us, Nora. But yeah, Banks, Ronnie, Harper, and Bowie and Lexi.
I love that.
Really, really cute.
That's so
Really
sweet.
cute.
And when I watched your wedding video, it felt to me like the dance party was off the charts. Was that like an important thing for you?
I love a dance.
Uh-huh. I saw it. It was evident you loved it.
Yeah. Well, and Paul and Jerry, my gay besties.
Yep.
They're like two of the best choreographers in the industry.
Got it. Okay.
I mean, like, they've done like the Super Bowl halftime show before. They do like their fire.
So they brought the fire.
They bring it. Yeah. Yep. And then Nina's fun on it. Everyone. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
What was your...
But music is really
key. Okay. Did you DJ or band?
We did a DJ.
Okay.
I think bands are great too, but you also really got to be sure that your DJ knows, because there was a couple times I had to go up and be like, are we on this? Okay,
yeah, like, why are we playing this song? Like, how did we get here and how do we move out of here?
Yeah, he was great, but it's just, you just communicate really well. And flowers they did a lot. You don't realize it until you walk. I remember walking out and just seeing all the people I love, a beautiful like water and green, and then just these beautiful flowers. Because I remember I'm like, we're gonna spend this much money on flowers, and they are done that night.
Yeah, but for you don't regret it. Like when it's burned in your brain.
That's like one thing that sticks out.
I love hearing that.
Yeah,
because you had an epic backdrop, so you could make an argument with the mountains and the water. You wouldn't need very much. But
yeah, your fiance might be like, Jess, stop. We don't want the flowers.
He's kind of had to roll over a little bit, because this is what I do professionally, and there's a little pressure. I have to like show up and show out. So
you got to deliver. Yeah.
I'm delivering. But I love to hear that you didn't regret it, and that in that moment you saw it and you felt it.
I did. I saw everyone that I love.
Yeah.
And our ceremony was so short.
Okay.
Like, to the point Brad was like, are you done?
That's it?
And he made very clear to my aunt who married us, do not make it long. Do not make it long. So when she was done, it was like a minute and 10 seconds.
Your vows or the ceremony?
We didn't even do vows.
Just literally the legal beagle.
Wow. Yes. And then we walked out to Leon Bridges and walked back to, it was a Lil Wayne song. Like, we were ready to go.
Ready to party. Short and sweet, right to the point.
But what I was going to say is, I still just, even sitting there when I looked, it was like everyone we loved. We had some people sit, and then there was a big balcony. Yeah. And we had some people stand, because we knew it was going to be fast. We didn't think it was going to be a minute.
Yeah, that's quick. That's like college quick.
I mean, it was like, I think my walk was longer than
the whole thing.
But everyone was like, great.
Yeah, nobody's mad at that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will say, and this is a thing we went back and forth on, and I asked a lot of people, like, what do you think? Was the videographer.
Yeah.
Like, do you do a
doing
video?
it or not doing it? Yeah.
Yeah. And Brad's like, we're never going to look at it, Jess.
So you didn't do it.
We're never going to look at it. And I said, let me.
Tell me, sell me.
I said, we have little girls, though. So at least they'll want to see it. I was trying to push because I want, you know what I mean?
Of course.
And he's just like, I just don't think we're going to watch it. And I said, I've asked everyone, the people who didn't get it regret it. Yep. And everyone who has it is happy, because even on our 10-year, we get to watch it. He's like, it's just a lot of money for a video. We ended up doing it. I love it. Here's what I'm going to say. And I should literally do a collaboration with them, because I'm about to give you guys a lot of press. And I don't know the company name, so maybe that doesn't help. But my grandma got me a gift.
Yeah.
That looks like a coffee table book.
Okay.
Where you put the USB in of your video.
Oh, and it's a video in a book.
Yes. On a screen like this big. The fact that this isn't being promoted for everyone to have. Because, to be fair, you're going to go up to people like this. Here's my wedding video for the rest of your life. You're not going to sit and watch.
Yes, I agree. And
really, if it's like a coffee table book at your house, it's still something you can like travel with if you want to show.
And people will open it. Yes.
Looks nice.
I love
it's
that.
dope.
I love that. So
I'll
I'm glad
text you the name.
please do. And I'm glad
Actually, that'll be my wedding gift to you.
Oh, okay. Now listen, don't talk dirty. My fiance is very sentimental. His family will love it. They're criers. They like to watch something like 3 times and then talk about it. So like, but I love that because I would say it's a roll of the dice, but there is this trend where more and more couples don't want video. They're just like instantly no. And I'm not here to push people into anything.
Yeah.
But you make an excellent point. You can't regret not doing it, but you can regret, you can regret not doing it. But you know what I mean? Like if you have it, you have it. If you never did it, you have no opportunity to go back.
You can regret not having it.
Exactly.
You can be like
100%.
Yeah.
So have you guys, will you watch it on your 1-year anniversary, or do you open that book every now and again, or
I
is it,
do.
okay.
Well, that's the nice thing because it's just there.
It's
Otherwise,
there.
you got to like go in, find the link. You're
Find
sending
a
the
file.
link to people.
Yeah, it's not very romantic. A link is not romantic. I get that.
Yeah.
I
just don't. I'm like, you guys. I literally called the videographer. I'm like, you need to like put this in your package.
Yes, like one of your
He's like,
optional
where did you
add-ons.
find it? I said,
I love
100%
this.
need to do that.
This is amazing.
By the way, that would have been a no-brainer. Then we wouldn't even have had a discussion. I'm like, we're getting it. It could be a book on our table.
Yep, it's a keepsake.
Video?
It's a keepsake. It's literally, why would you not do that? I love that.
Is there? It's like, I'm not going to go on my email and click a link, Jess.
I hear him. And also, there's a point with like a wedding where you're spending so much money and you're like, where can I cut something? But there is something about audio that just is very different than a photo, you know, like hearing the voices and the speeches and watching people dance to that song. Like there's something nostalgic about it that, you're not going to sit and watch it every day, but your favorite movie or a movie you watch once still has an impact on you. You don't watch it every day, every week, or every year. Yeah, like if you love it, you watch it. Like, and for your daughters, that's very special.
By the way, our speeches, Best Man and Maid of Honor, mic drop. It was Nina was. She could have won an award for that.
Wow.
And his Best Man speech, he goes into this thing and it was really like so heartfelt and special. And he's like, and I had this letter from Brad. And he's like, I saved it.
Oh.
Hold on again. And he goes, and I'll read it to you. And he goes really slowly after like everyone's like almost like tearing up. Oh, this isn't the song. He does a nasty rap song, but reads it like a poem.
Like
so
a sweet, slow poem. Oh my God.
And all of a sudden it's like, back that ass up. Go, you look at, and it was just like, it took such a turn, Joe. We were like, what? We were crying, laughing.
I'm obsessed with this.
Butchered it here right now because that's not the song. I was trying to look up the song.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with that. Well, if you send us the video, we will include it.
And I had the note from Brad, and he starts reading it.
Oh my God.
And then you don't realize what song it is until like 4 lines in.
A certain point. Yeah.
I'm like, what movie did you get that from?
Yeah.
It was so gangster.
A good speech can make her, you know what I mean? Like it's a, and it sounds like you got really lucky with both of them.
2 things I want to say for anyone listening and for you, because it's coming up.
Yeah.
Walk slow.
Okay.
If you think you're walking slow, walk slower.
Down the aisle.
Yeah. I went back. I'm like, was I trying to sprint for the Olympics?
Was I in a hurry? Was I in a race? Okay.
And I felt like I was taking forever. So really, if you think you're going slow, go slower.
Molasses.
That's your moment.
Okay.
That's a big thing. I wish more people would have told me that. And my friend's like, it doesn't matter. You were just excited to see your future husband. I'm like, so it was fast. She's like, a little fast.
You were in a hurry.
So definitely slow. And then what was the other? Don't stress about even saying hi to everyone. That's why I think a night before or 1 or 2 days. That's why the night of the wedding, but it's also different because it was destination for us, didn't feel like I had to be everywhere. It felt like
had the warm up.
Yeah. Because we kind of had conversations with people. And I think that stresses a lot of people out.
Because you're the host and you want to be a good host. Yeah. But if you have a night before, you can check off some people from the list.
Yeah.
I love that.
But I was just going to say that's one thing. And I know it's easier said than done
Yeah.
to just really do what you want to do. If you want to sit next to your husband or dance with him or go talk to your grandma in the corner or be with your cousin, you don't got to be anywhere but where you want to be that night.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
I love that. And I couldn't agree more. And it's such sound advice. And I will hear you on my wedding day. I'll remember.
Yeah.
Be where you want to be.
Another thing.
Yeah.
Wear your wedding shoes a couple times before the night.
So like wear them in. Yeah. So you don't get the cut on the foot.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's great advice. No, we don't need blisters, especially if we're going to be dancing the way that I envision we will be dancing. Well, this has been such a joy. Thank you so much for sharing so much about your life and your career and your wedding. It's really been so much fun. Where can people find you?
So I'm on Instagram. I haven't leaned into the TikTok yet. Quite yet. Should I?
I don't know. It might go away. I don't think it's really going away, but the problem for me with TikTok is when I start, it's so addicting. I'm like, it's been 3 hours and I don't even know what I just did.
That's why I don't want to do it.
So I think stay on the Instagram. Let's be 40-year-olds who are like, what's TikTok? We're now becoming our parents. You know what I mean? Like it's a
Facebook?
Yeah, like our grandma's on Facebook. We're on Instagram and all the young kids are on TikTok or Snapchat. So stay where it's age appropriate.
Yeah, I feel like I have to, but I'm always late to that. I was really late to Instagram. I never had a Facebook or MySpace.
Yeah.
So I'm on Instagram. I leave on Tuesday to do a movie called Win, Love, or Place. It's a horse racing movie, and my dear friend Haley Duff is directing it. So
cool.
I'm so pumped to work
How
with
exciting.
her. Never been to Kentucky.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah. And I have a collab coming up with Vienna Rose, which is a skincare line, and I'm a huge fan. So I'll have more details for that.
Yeah.
On the gram, maybe on TikTok by then.
Wherever it is, we'll keep a lookout. Well, thank you so much. It's been so fun. And if you're ever in New York, please let me know.
I will. And I'll have to text you because I'm going to send you a wedding gift.
I would love that.
Walk
That's
slow.
very sweet. I'm going to literally remember, walk slow and be where I want to be.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
And now it's time for Ask Jove. I couldn't be more excited to be in the studio with my dear friend Sloan for Ask Jove. What do we have today, Sloan?
Next question is Melanie from Charleston.
Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
I always think of our Melanie.
I know, love.
She moved upstate.
I know, so proud.
Weird. It's very proud. I'm very proud of her.
Major adult move.
Buying a house.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a different Melanie. We will love you too, Melanie.
But hi, Melanie from Charleston.
Yes.
If you also have a house, congratulations.
Yeah. I love Charleston. It's so pretty and calm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, back to Melanie.
Okay. My fiance's brother has 2 young kids, and while I love them, I'm a little worried about them sitting in the front row during our ceremony. If they cry or get restless, it could be really distracting, especially since we're keeping things small and intimate.
Yep.
How do we handle this without upsetting anyone?
I mean, it sounds like the kids are already coming, so she's made up her mind there, which is great. That fight is over. They are included. I don't know. I mean, kids are kids.
Yeah.
And they, at any second, can change.
Oh, yes.
As you well know.
They are going to get wiggly. They're going to get agitated. Have a snack on hand.
Make some noises.
Yeah.
Parents don't like when I say this, but I use bribery.
You're like, I will give you all of this.
Oh, yeah. I literally will ask at our final planning meeting for the flower children what their favorite candy is that they're not allowed to have. Because all these parents nowadays, which I'm here for, no processed sweets, no high fructose corn syrup, no all
food
that
dyes,
stuff. No
all
food.
of it.
I'm here for it. But I'm the bad uncle that's going to spoil you because I need you to do this task for me. And so I will get you Skittles, Reese's, Snickers, all the good stuff that you're not allowed to have. Because also afterwards you're leaving, so you're not my problem.
Hi.
I need you for literally 30 minutes and then we're good to go. So I use bribery, and this is probably not great parenting. This is not how I will raise my child or children. But I'm not parenting in that moment.
You are wedding planning in that moment.
Thank you. I am wedding planning in that moment. I literally tell them when we do the rehearsal that day, I show them. And then when they are about to have a breakdown, because they will, inevitably, the more of them, the odds are higher that someone will. And sometimes they trigger. Do you notice that with kids? Like if one has a breakdown or a meltdown, then it triggers the other to suddenly, and then the other. Yeah. And there's factors. Did they nap? Did they eat? Like all of that. So I have this bag of candy.
And
I am there with it. And once they get through it, they are waiting for me, like right after the ceremony.
Jove said that this was going to happen.
And I'll give it to them. King size, regular size. I don't care as long as
a 24 pack.
It is worth every dollar. So I would say if you're nervous, make a plan. I think front row, it sounds like maybe she's worried about like her being affected if she's there and they're right here, but they're family. So second row is probably maybe they'd be offended.
Yeah.
I don't know. But they also have kids, so put them on an aisle.
Yep. Or like on the outside of your aisle too. Like if you don't want it immediately in the center, or if there are photos or anything like that, pull them out to the side.
So that they can easily exit. And then I would say if bribery's not your thing, I respect you. What are the ways that you can distract your children? Like, I know people are not into iPhones or screens, but like, the parents know the kids the best.
Yep.
And if they can sit for 30 minutes or 40 minutes, can Scout sit for 30 minutes without anything?
Now she can.
Now she can.
Now she
but
can.
When she was younger, like...
Absolutely not.
No. It's not natural for them.
No.
They need to be entertained and active. So I would say like bring them in last. Get them out first and make a plan, whether it includes bribery or an activity or a little bit of both.
Yep.
Like, I'm not above it, but you're a parent, so really you should answer this question. You have a child. I have 2 dogs.
I would say there's a lot that goes into the pre-event process. There needs to be a lot of discussion for kids. Kids really like to have structure and they like to understand what's going on, even if they don't have
ahead of them.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they don't have a full understanding of exactly what all that is. And of course, we are unsure of what their ages are, but if you can practice doing it a few times with them in your home, or in a space where they feel a little uncomfortable, like they haven't really been there very often,
to test that out.
Yeah, have them test out being in a space that feels unfamiliar to them. If they are walking down the aisle, a part of the processional, then have them practice that with you. Maybe take them out for like a special like little date, just you and the kiddos beforehand, so they get more comfortable being in public with just you and your partner. And like a mini stuffy, like little stuffies, like little, there are even like slap bracelets that have a stuffy on them.
Just something to ease them, relax them.
Yeah, like have it like sitting for them in their chair and they can like pop it on and like play with it during the ceremony. But just kind of prepare them for what's coming. Do a couple of practice runs if they are part of your pre-sessional. Talk with them about it. Get them excited. My own child doesn't like when people really give them a lot of attention at the beginning of an event.
She's shy at the start.
Absolutely. So it's like, pretend they don't exist.
Yes. But then she opens up.
And then she opens up and she's like, I want to be a part of everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, that's not who she is.
Yeah. And like
knowing that is important.
Knowing that is hyper important. If you think that they're going to get really anxious about having to be in front of numerous people.
And all these people watching.
Right. Then don't have them come down the center of the aisle if they're not a part of your pre-sessional.
Or carry them down.
Or maybe have them come on the outside.
Oh, that's cute.
Like just have them preset almost.
Yeah. Know the kid. Every kid is different.
Know the kid. Talk to the kid. Help them understand what's going to be happening and walk them through the process a little bit more so they have some awareness going in.
And if her anxiety is that something's going to happen, listen, it's a wedding.
Accept it.
If you're getting married outside, like a bird could poop on you. It could rain. Like there's a million things that could go wrong. But I think everyone in the audience, especially if it's your family, they know these are children. And like if something happens, it's going to happen. And you're going to laugh about it or cry about it. And then you're going to move on. But like, it's not your fault.
Right.
And it's not the parents' fault, most likely. So you kind of have to go with the flow.
Yeah.
And if it's really giving you that much anxiety, then maybe have a child-free wedding. Just say we're not having children at the wedding. Get a babysitter or leave them at home with someone, but like, we don't want it.
Right.
And you can explain that. I don't think they'll be upset at you.
No.
But you got to do what's right for you. But kids are going to be kids.
They sure are. And honestly, some of the best photos are when a kid is like running amok.
100%.
And you're like, bye.
Or even sometimes when a kid just screams in the middle of the ceremony.
And everyone laughs.
Yeah, but it's like at the right time.
Yeah.
It's like they're telling a story that like, and it becomes a punchline and the kid doesn't know that.
Right.
But they like just need to let the vocals, scream out. And like, it's adorable.
Yep.
You also have kids that pull all the focus. Like, they're kids.
Also allow them to move a lot.
Before.
Pre-ceremony.
Yeah. Get the nap in.
Absolutely. Like, get their zoomies
snack
out.
in.
Yep.
Get the zoomies out. Yeah, like, take care of the kid.
Yep.
If you just, like, if I didn't have a nap and I didn't have food and you sat me down and wanted me to work and perform.
No one's going to be happy about that.
No, I'm an adult. I have a rider. No, I'm just kidding.
Where are my snacks?
So I think at the end of all of this, be prepared. Take a deep breath. Whatever happens, you're going to get through it. It's family. And if one day you want to be a parent, you're going to be that parent at someone else's wedding with your kid.
And hoping that they are understanding as well.
This is the cycle of life. So I'm saying that thinking that soon we'll be parents.
Yeah,
and I'll be that dad.
And I'll be sitting there giving your kids candy.
Yeah, no. No,
I'll be like, so did you want the king size?
No, they're not
these
even
Sour
gonna
Punch
know what
straws?
Reese's. Oh my gosh. No, not for my children. Although I feel like Kyle's going to bribe them for sure.
Oh, 1,000%.
He's going to be like the fun dad.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I have to be the disciplinarian. I already know this. But I want to be the fun dad.
You will still be.
These children.
They're going to have so much fun.
We're going to be calling you all the time.
Bring them on.
All the time. All right. Well, good luck.
Good luck,
and
Melanie.
have a wonderful wedding. Don't forget to send your questions. Again, any questions, send them our way to hi@jovemeyer.com and maybe I will answer them on air. If you can, send a voice memo. I love to hear your voice.
Our wedding day was perfect, but 18 months ago, I was overwhelmed, behind, and buried in spreadsheets with 300 tasks ahead of me. Then I found Pearl Planner. Now Pearl Planner gets everything out of my head and off my list. It's like having a type A best friend who helps you plan your wedding, except she's powered by AI, so you won't wake her up when you message her at 3 a.m. I just answered a few questions and boom, vision board, personalized checklist, tailored to my style, my budget, and my venue. No more spreadsheets I forget to update, no more sticky notes stuck to my dog. Everything is in one place and it actually makes sense. This morning I said, Pearl, my mother-in-law added 7 more guests. Help. Pearl just took care of it so I could take care of myself. When I want to check things off, I do. When I don't, I just ask Pearl AI to help. Dress recs? Done. For me, my bridal party, my cousin who insists on statement sleeves? Handled. Need help wording your invitation? Pearl's got it. Need honeymoon recs? Already packed my sunscreen. And because Pearl's connected to David's Bridal, every purchase earns me diamond points. So yeah, I'm literally planning my way to a free honeymoon. Planning doesn't feel like a second job anymore, it feels fun. Pearl Planner. Wedding planning powered by AI, fueled by love. Start planning now for free.
Weddings-ish.
Thank you again for listening or watching Weddings-ish with Jove. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts. We're also super grateful to Mel Flannery for the music on the podcast. She created, produced, and designed all of the music. And don't forget, you can watch Weddings-ish with Jove on Love Stories TV, YouTube, or streaming TV channel. Visit lovestoriestv.com/live for the list of streaming apps.
Weddings-ish.